many people still get stuck on this question if they should take actions or not. Right? The topic of actions while manifesting is huge, and it's very important. And I can already tell you that yes, actions are usually required, some form of actions. But the big question will be, and I'm going to cover this in great detail in this video, right? The question is, from which state will these actions come from? Because if you still try to do actions from your current state, right, from the state that you're currently in, to try to get to your desired reality, well, those actions won't be that potent, right? Those actions will always, in a sense, be very limited, right? Because this state can only give you a certain, let's just say, a certain kind of actions, whereas, the state of the wish fulfilled, that will actually give you the right actions, the right impulses to express itself. And you probably watch this video because there is something in your life right now, in your current reality, in your current circumstances, that you are dissatisfied with. I make this statement that otherwise you would not even, learn more about manifesting. Otherwise you just want to understand this. But again, most people are right now watching this because you have something in your life you're dissatisfied with, you want to change, you want to see new circumstances. And that's amazing. Perfect. That is the motor element, right? That is the desired circumstances, the desired reality. But this can only be shown to you when you are aligned to it within first, right? When you are in this new internal state. But the question still is left. Okay, so now you're in this state. Oh, you want this, you imagine this, right? And then you maybe get certain impulses. So maybe you're not sure. Should I do this action or should I not do it? What about this action? If I do it, will it take me further away from my desire? Will it mess something up? What about actions? Which actions should I take? Which actions should I not take? When do I know which action is the right action to take? Stay in this video. I will cover this once and for all right now. And we do this based on this main premise, right? The main premise here that we talk about is imagining creates reality, right? This will help us, right? This is Neville's core, let's just say, statement. And what it simply means is that it's not our thoughts. It's not essentially our actions. That's all byproduct. That's all important, yes. But it's mainly meaning that what we imagine, what we awaken within ourselves, right? Where we place our focus and attention on, the portion of creation that we shine our light on, right? The non-manifested version of ourselves that we start to make alive within ourselves, by us shifting to that within, that is going to create our external reality, right? I simply think that the wording is a little bit off because, again, creates reality. Reality already is created. Every possible state, every possible version of yourself, every possible outcome, every possible experience already does exist. We simply move in it, and then that's going to reflect it back, right? That's the main premise from which we even explain this whole topic of actions right now. And I want to give you my core summary already, but then I will guide you through a journey so you will really understand everything about actions when manifesting. And again, this is how it looks like, right? Current state, desired state. What do we do in between? Do we do something in between? Do we focus on something in between? Which actions do we take in between? Right? Again, this is a very relevant topic, and trust me, I get and tripped up on this still to this day, even sometimes. But then I remember all of this and apply it. But back then, when I wasn't aware of, how this works and how actions really work, I really got stuck a lot. And I sometimes, completely procrastinated. I didn't do anything. I didn't know, okay, when should I do actions? So this is why this is an important topic. And here's my first summary. And that is this. Once you shift, right? Once you move into your desired state, you cannot do anything to rush, force, or aid the manifestation of your goal, right? When you are in the wish fulfilled, what do you want to do? You are in the wish fulfilled in that moment. It is already done for you within. Remember, it's first done within, and then that is reflected outside. So when within you are in the end state, what even do you want to do? Because you will feel like it is already done. And then that end state will lead you, but more on that later. So meaning, if action is required from your side, if you need to go to that place, if you need to meet this person, if you need to message this person, if you need to learn something, if you need to buy a course, it will get you a certain skill set, if you need to read a certain book, right? If any action from your side is required, you will automatically do them, right? You can't even resist them. That new state will, in a sense, force you. That new state will inspire you, will automatically These will be unresistible actions that you feel like you can't even resist. And they come from the new state, right? You will be led because your actions are guided by your state. You can never outperform your inner state. If you're still in the current state and you try to, from this state, do actions to get over here to your desired reality, well, you can't outperform your state. You can't outperform your self-concept, your identity. You need to first align your identity, and then this identity will provide you with the right actions to express itself. Okay? So again, if action is required, you will automatically do them. The key word that I want to burn in your mind, so to speak, is you will automatically do them. You won't be able to resist them once you shifted your inner state first. If you don't shift your inner state first, that is when you will feel so overwhelmed by, oh, what should I take? It seems so far away. But when the desire no longer seems far away because you dwell in it, you dwell in the wish fulfilled, then the actions simply flow. You will be led from that end state. Right? So a bridge of incidents is going to unfold after we have started to occupy and awaken the desired state within ourselves, right? After we have moved into the end state, into the wish fulfilled. It is not your job to manage this part with your logical mind and work out a way. The more you try to work out a way, what can I do to get it? What can I do to get it? What can I do to get it? That is all an implication that you're not having it yet. Because as soon as you have it within, as soon as you feel you have it, you no longer even want to work out a way because it is already done for you. I know this sounds very irrational, but I didn't make the rules for this law. It's simply how it works. Once you feel as though it's done and you have received it and you live in the wish fulfilled, that state will lead you, right? You are then dwelling in that state and it will basically drag you towards it. It will basically, outside you stand here, within you stand here, but where within you stand, that is what matters. And then that will basically not drag you, but it will like pull you towards it. You will be pulled. And that new state will guide you through the right actions that you won't be able to resist. You will do them automatically, like I said before. So here's a quote from Neville. Right? I do not assume the responsibility for making anything so. Right? It's not your responsibility to make something, to work out the bridge and to question which actions to take. Right? After I've identified myself with the state that I desire, after you've shifted into the end state, you don't have any responsibility to work out a way. Right? I let it be so. It might take a day, a week, or a month, even longer. I see what I want to see, what I experience in myself, what I want to experience. I visualize, I hear, I shift into this end state with my preferred technique, and I let it be true. I do not lift the finger to make it true. For how can I discuss it when it is already so? And that is where most people get tripped up, right? How can you say that, I do not even lift a finger, right? Didn't you just say that? Wait, let me focus my cam real quick. I just have to. All right, there we go. So again, right? People then get tripped up because they say, how is this possible that I should not even lift the finger, right? Isn't it that you just previously said that action might be required? Yes. But what Neville is meaning here is that you don't lift the finger. So you're here and like you don't lift the finger like, what should I do, right? And you burst all your blood vessels, being like, I force myself right now into my desired reality. What can I do? No, that's not what we do, right? You can't discuss the bridge. You can't discuss, what might happen, which action would you maybe go through, which action is required if you already stand in the wish fulfilled. If within you stand in the wish fulfilled, there is no longer need for you to find out the right actions because it is done for you. And then in a way that you don't even notice usually, you will do all of these actions. You will move across this bridge. And then you end up with the manifestation and you're like, wow. But that's only because you first stood there within yourself. Right? You can't discuss it when it already is so. You can't wonder about the how, the when, the what needs to be done when you dwell in the wish fulfilled. Right? We will not have to lift the finger to make it so, for it already is so. It was already so. Our job is to go to the end and let that end state lead. So, let me give you a little summary first of all. Do you have to take actions? And the answer is yes and no, both at the same time. So I want to explain this right now to you. So, wait, can you see that? Yes. So, first of all, no, it's not necessary for you to take action when manifesting, but to clarify that, you're not supposed to think about which actions to take. Right? You're not supposed to work out the right actions for you to take to get to the end goal. That's not your job, right? You don't need to figure out the step-by-step process. It's not about your actions, right? It's about your state, and that state will then lead you. Your only job is to go straight to the end, and that end state comes with actions. Because remember, a state, when we go in a new state, we will have new thoughts that arise from that state. We will have certain beliefs. We will have certain reactions to life. We will have certain actions and certain results, all coming from that state. It's all because we dwell in that new reality already. And that new reality, because we have basically given our, let's just say, higher self, our consciousness, the coordinates on where we want to be, we have now imagined this version of us. We have now awakened that state within us, and that then wants to express itself. And then this state will pull you also externally towards it, and you will move through this bridge, and you might do this, you might not do this, and things might happen automatically. Maybe you get inspired to, I want to do this, and you can't even resist it. That's all already coming from that new state, right? So no, it's not really about the actions, but still, yes, it is necessary to take action when manifesting. In your perception, your thoughts, your decisions will automatically change once you change the state, right? You will receive impulses to do certain things when they are required. And Neville had a really amazing lecture. I don't know in which it was specifically, but he said you will be moved. It's not that you need to work out the way, but you will be moved. You will be guided from the end state, right? Things will be orchestrated for you. So the actions towards your desire, if they are required, right? And again, sometimes there are actions required, right? I think it's delusional when you just have this attitude of thinking that everything will just come to your lap. You assume something, you assume that you have this car, and tomorrow you open your front door and it's just standing in your parking lot, right? Maybe you go through the actions of looking online for good deals, and then maybe you get inspired to start this new business venture, and then maybe from that you get a lot of money. Then you say, oh wow, I can now easily afford this car, and then you just buy it, and you end up with it, right? So you still end up with the thing, but you got there through a certain bridge. But the bridge is irrelevant. The actions are irrelevant. The only irrelevant thing, or the only relevant thing, is first that you imagine that you already have it, that you already are it, and then that will guide you automatically. Your actions towards your desire will be automatic when you first shift into the end state, right? You can never outperform your state by outer actions. That's why acting as if is pretty stupid, because if you act as if, that still implies you're in the old state where you don't have the desire, right? You don't need to worry so much about forcing actions, or, like I said many times in this video, right, worrying about which actions to take. Let them come automatically. Let the impulses come. Some call it inspired action, but I don't even like that, because inspired actions are then still like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? No, we are speaking about actions that you can't resist, that you will just do. You won't even notice. You will be moved. It happens automatically. You will be guided, right? So again, the question is oftentimes asked, what should be done between the assumption of the wish fulfilled? So we're here, but we assume we already in the wish fulfilled, and the manifestation of that new state. And the answer is nothing. In between, you should not be worried about what you should do, right? It's a delusion that other than assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you can do anything to aid the realization of your desire, right? We always then ask these questions, so how can I get it quicker? What can I do to speed it up? Which actions can I take to move quicker to my desire? If you would already stand in your wish fulfilled, you would not even want to ask these questions, because it would already be done for you, right? And that is a quote from Neville. You think that you can do something, you want to do something, but actually you can do nothing. The illusion of free will to do is ignorance of the law of assumption, upon which all action is based, right? The action that you do is based on the state you're in. So when you assume a new state, you will automatically do new actions. That is what your actions are based on the state you assume yourself to be in. So let that happen automatically. Everything happens automatically. And that's very comforting to know. Because if you want now desire X, you know that your only job is to put yourself in that state, to realign yourself within to that level where you feel that you already have it, where you feel that it's already done for you, right? You apply Neville's principles to shift into that end state. And again, if you need help with that, and you want guidance, you want coaching, you want support, you want me on your side, check out my program. It's in the video description. But based on that, everything happens. You don't need to fight for a way. You don't need to fight for a desire. Make it alive, be in the wish fulfilled. And if you're on the wish fulfilled, you don't even want any longer to work out a long way. And you don't even feel the need to work out any actions because you will feel like it's done for you. And then you go about your life. You no longer even desire that much, but because you've awakened that state, that will draw you towards its expression. And outer reforms are useless if the inner state is not changed. Success is gained not by imitating the outer actions of successful, but by the right inner actions. So, in a sense, the only action that you have to take is the inner action. The only action that you have to take to manifest your goal is the inner action, which means the shift in the state of the wish fulfilled. So do not be concerned with the how. What action should I take? When does it happen? How does it happen? You have assumed, sorry for the spelling mistake, you have assumed that it's done. The assumption has its own way of objectifying itself that you can't really control. All responsibility to make it so is removed from you. So relax in that statement, right? The responsibility to make it so, the responsibility for you to work out a way is removed from you because your only responsibility is to awaken the end state. And that is my summary on actions, right? So pretty straightforward. I do assume that you now got a straighter and a more clear understanding of it. And if we go back to these, okay, so I thought to maybe leave this out, but actually I can still show you these quotes. I wanted to keep it a little bit shorter, but now that they're here, let me read them to you, right? So do not question how these things appearing, for no man knows the way. That is, no manifestation knows how the things desired will appear, right? You can't work out the way. Just how this desire or newly attained consciousness will embody itself, no man knows. For I, the newly attained consciousness, has ways that ye know not of, that you know not of, that you can't understand. Its ways are past finding out, right? So that's why, again, we come back to the statement that imagining creates reality. Not we, from the limited point of view, try to create our way and struggle towards the end. No, we let this happen from the higher self. We just give it the right coordinates. We just select something. With our free will, we choose which state we want, and then we let that state expressed. So do not speculate as the how of this consciousness embodying itself, for no man is wise enough to know how. Speculation, when you still are worried about which actions to take and you're speculating, is it this, will it express like this? That speculation is proof that you have not attained the naturalness of being the thing desired, and so you're filled with doubts. So again, now I come back to the beginning, right? Now I come back to my statement. Once you shift, once you move into a desired state, you cannot do anything to rush it, to force it, to aid the manifestation of your goal, right? If action is required, you will automatically do them. You will be led, you will be moved, because your actions are guided by your new state. So you can never outperform your inner state. Don't even try to, you're still in that state and you try to do actions to get somewhere. That can be very exhausting. Why don't we just go into the end and then let this end state lead us to the manifestation? That is the wise, let's just say the wise approach of manifestation, right? So actions, definitely important, but not something you have to worry about because they come automatically once you shift within first. Okay? That is it for this video. Let me know in the comments beneath if you liked it, if you have any questions or feedback on it. If you need more resources, you can check out my free masterclass. A straight to the point summary on what's important and on the biggest mistakes that people do. And if you want to work with me, again, check out my program. It's the second link in the description. And if my program right now is, let's just say you don't want to commit to it, you don't want my coaching, but you still want to be connected with like-minded people on this journey, then go to my website, upgradeToLife.com, and check out my inner circle. I have a video there where I explain what this inner circle is, which is basically a community for just $50 where you can connect with like-minded people that are on this journey, that want to understand the basic framework, that want to get that want to basically apply the basic principles, right? But it's without a lot of coaching from me. So I hope that this was helpful, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.